Facebook Live. We've got Sharon from Canada. We've got Reading, CA, Alberta, Canada. The Canadians are winning online. In here, we have the Philippines, fantastic, Perth, Mandurah, Chicago. So people logging on from all over the place. This particular presentation has been scheduled specifically to support the Philippines team, the Perth team, and also the new teams in Singapore and Malaysia as well, because of the time zones. But it is bright and early on other parts of the world, which gives us a great opportunity to support everybody. So welcome online. The aim is in the next 30 minutes, I'll give you a really good insight into the amazing Neumi opportunity that's in front of us. So firstly, a little bit of background so you know who I am. My name is Michael Firth. As I said, I'm one of the founding field advisory board members with Neumi. What does that mean? It just means I'm one of the people who helped format some of the company before it started. But I'm just an everyday member in the field like everybody else, and have a passion for this particular business. So my background before coming across Neumi, about 14 years ago, I was a sales coach in the mortgage industry in Australia and New Zealand. And I share this with you because I find if I'm watching a presentation, often I'm thinking, well, who is this person? How do they qualify to talk on this topic? So 14 years ago, someone came to me. I was looking for a way out of the corporate world because I loved my job. Type in yes if you love your job. But what I found was, as I loved my job, the further I went up the corporate world, the more money I earned, then the less time I had with my family. And of course, I was divorced and I had two beautiful kids, and it was my daughter. That was the reason that I decided that's it. I need to get out. I need to do something different. So I don't give people unrealistic projections. All I say is, you know what? Took me up 2 years, and eventually I replaced the income that I was earning from the corporate world. And I stepped over into this home-based business industry and earned the same sort of income, but I worked about 20% of the hours from then there out. Now, why do I share this with you about this business? Well, that was my entrance into the glutathione supplementation world. And if you don't know what glutathione is, that's okay. You will by the end of the presentation. But it was also where I met an amazing mentor and beautiful friend of mine by the name of Stephen K. Scott. Why do I bring that up? Steve K. Scott is actually the founder of Neumi. So let's talk a little bit about Neumi and get into the presentation. So our slogan is, a new you starts with Neumi. So when we say that, I want to start out by saying we're all about transparency. So I used to use income disclosure statements for transparency in the mortgage industry as a coach, and now we love to use them here in Neumi. So what does it mean? Well, I want you to refer to Neumi's compensation plan and monthly promotional bonuses for complete details, but to suffice to say, the earnings of Neumi members are 100% dependent on his or her skills, work, effort, commitment, leadership, sales capabilities, market conditions, and member sales and commissions are going to vary. Why do I say that? Well, because it's an opportunity. It's not a job. So one person putting exactly the same amount of effort might get a different outcome than the next person because their skills might vary. Okay. Similarly, I want to say that our products are not designed to treat, cure, or prevent any disease whatsoever. You won't, in fact, hear a disease name or a medical condition come out of the mouth of a Neumi member worldwide, because that's not what our products are for. Having said that, I just noticed a number of people say hi online from Africa. So welcome to the Africans as well. So firstly, our mission is to empower our members to become the best versions of themselves in all areas of their life. Now, how do we do this? Real quick, we do it through vision, innovation, and implementation. So I don't know a better visionary than this gentleman here, Steve K. Scott, as I mentioned. Beautiful friend of mine these days. If you don't know Steve, Steve has spent his whole life searching for breakthrough products and purchasing the rights to those products and marketing them on TV. And over the years, Steve has generated over $4 billion in revenue. So some of his projects include things you may have seen like this on the screen, Hair Care with Sure, Deal a Meal, and the big one everyone knows, Total Gym. In fact, everyone online now, if you've ever seen Total Gym in your life, type in yes, right? In fact, funny, it was on television today. My partner Liz went for an appointment. She was sitting there, and on the waiting room, up comes Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley as if it was yesterday. So even to this very day, they're still selling. So Steve's success dwarfed anyone in commercial history right around the world. And his strategy was only to market breakthrough products. Now, Steve's also a best-selling author, well-known around the world, and he's been interviewed by many, many, many different channels and stations. In fact, some of the books he's written are just spectacular. You've got to get your hands on some of them. So Steve, after working for 30 years in health and beauty, and pioneering the research into the glutathione world, I might add, he was ready to retire until he found what he now calls the biggest breakthrough of his entire life. And that's what we're here about to talk about today. So he sees trends before exist, and that is a sign of a real visionary. So let's talk about innovation. We have solved the bioavailability and the absorption issue. What do I mean? We'll see these people with their guts on the right there. How many of you have taken lots of vitamins and nutrition and then gone to the toilet and gone, wow, why is it so bright orange? That's because most of it does not absorb. So nutrition, for decades, nutrition companies have been doing the same thing over and over again from slightly different perspectives, but whether that mean nutrition in a capsule or precursors, giving the body the raw ingredients it needs to produce a particular ingredient in an attempt to get through the gut. But if you talk to most medical professionals, say the biggest challenge facing human health these days is what? Gut issues, absorption issues. Now, the same holds true for skincare. For decades, skincare companies have been loading their products with magnificent ingredients, only to realize for the most part, only a tiny percent absorbs. In fact, a friend of mine in Australia is actually a well-known skincare educator, and she said it's kind of like putting Gladrop on your face. She said 0.003% of something, those sorts of stats actually absorbs right to where it needs to in the bottom layers. So we've solved this issue. How did we do it? Through hydrostat nano delivery. So what is this? It's a completely unique proprietary nano delivery discovery, and this cutting edge breakthrough has led to the development of some completely unique and game-changing products that are disrupting nutrition and the beauty industry worldwide. What do I mean? Well, if you pluck a human hair out, a bit of science lesson for you, it's 80 to 100,000 nanometers. What does that mean? Well, if you could shrink your particle size down to maybe 50 nanometers, you get some spectacular results. Nobody does that, right? Liposomal glutathione, for example, some of the best ones, if they're lucky, will get down to 150 nanometers. What if you could get down to sub 10 nanometers? That's exactly what we do. And then we encapsulate those tiny particles into an ultra purified water molecule, which in fact is purer than a hospital IV. Now, your body loves pure water. So this is an important breakthrough that led us to some great products. The very first one is called NutraSwish, which is glutathione completely reinvented. So all the nutrients your body craves, including glutathione, but also vitamin C, curcumin, alpha lipoic acid, cysteine, and many more things, all shrunk smaller than anyone ever done before. And then literally all you do is take the cap off this bottle. It's as hard as this. Take the cap off, which is about a teaspoon, put 2 of these under your tongue, hold it there for 30 seconds. It'll absorb with the main vein under the tongue. And then if you swish it around like a mouthwash, the agitation in your cheeks will help to absorb as well, hence the word swish, right? Very unique concept. Within literally 30 seconds, you have glutathione into your bloodstream, but not only glutathione, cysteine, which helps produce glutathione. So you're getting it from 2 angles, plus some of the ingredients that help glutathione do its job better, such as vitamin C, alpha lipoic acid, et cetera, et cetera. So this is coming at it not just from a glutathione angle, from many angles. So what is glutathione? Some people online are going, this is great, but what is this word you're referring to? So glutathione, quick science lesson, is the master antioxidant of your body. It's responsible for so many functions, about 400 functions in the body. In fact, it's produced naturally by every cell in your body. It's a natural detoxifier. It's a naturally anti-inflammatory. It protects and boosts the immune system, which is important right now. It reduces cellular inflammation. Now, if you go on 14 years ago when I got involved in the glutathione space, I couldn't even spell glutathione, right? And I did some research, and there's a website called PubMed. Now, PubMed is the world's scientific website on peer-reviewed studies. Back then, there was a small handful of studies on glutathione 14 years ago and stacks, about 60,000 on vitamin C. And we all know vitamin C is important. Guess what now? There's about the same amount of studies on vitamin C, but 14 years later, there's over 165,000 studies on glutathione. The interesting thing, though, is that everybody else is doing the old-fashioned technology trying to get through the gut, and we're the first company that has a different approach, which you'll see. So you're probably saying, well, why do I need to supplement anyway if it's in my body? Great question. According to the experts, your glutathione levels are at their optimal when you're 18 to 20 years of age, and it decreases 10 to 15% per decade. It's a fragile molecule orally. It gets destroyed via the digestive process. So taking it orally is a waste of time. companies said, well, what's it made of? Glutamic acid, glycine, and cysteine. Let's take that orally. Well, unfortunately, cysteine is also a fragile molecule, which means that gets destroyed too. Now, some companies said, well, we'll work it out. And they came up with what we call precursors, which is old technology today. But in its day, it was fantastic. And that would give your body the raw ingredients, if it hopefully got through the gut, to help produce more glutathione itself. And there is countless companies out there with those sorts of things now, because it's becoming a busy space. And a little bit like, everybody's got a cassette recorder, and then Neumi comes along and says, here's an MP4. You go, what? That's the light years ahead that we really are with this technology with Hydrostat, a completely new era of instant absorption. So what do the experts have to say about glutathione? Well, Dr. Oz, you'll see him on TV all the time, calls it the superhero of antioxidants. He's an expert in that space. Dr. Mark Hyman, if you Google glutathione worldwide, he's one of the authorities, and he says it's the most important molecule. You need to stay healthy and prevent disease. These two doctors, Dr. Colbert, says glutathione is the Michael Jordan of antioxidants, meaning it's the main player. Everything else is there to support the main player. And Dr. Jimmy Gutman says the most powerful healing agent. Now, we have our own very well esteemed board. In fact, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in a second. But before I do, let me tell you a little bit about our board. Dr. Doug Harrington on the top left-hand corner, he was on the Stanford heart transplant team. And he also created a test called the Pulse test, which was for early heart attack detection. He's been using glutathione through precursors and so forth for many years, and says this breakthrough is just spectacular. Dr. Gordon Crozier is actually on the medical advisory board, and he wrote a book on glutathione and Lyme disease. This gentleman here on the right-hand side was in my house this morning in the Sunshine Coast, my beautiful friend, Dr. Dean Stubbs. He's been presenting on the topic now as an integrative doctor for about a decade, as has Tanya Ash from South Australia at the bottom. Dr. Bethany Dixon in the red shirt. She's done a study on truckers and fatigue and the impact of glutathione. And Dr. Luis Valdez is an ENT with a specialty in hearing. And he's been presenting for a decade in Latin America, as Cindy Lopez has as well, who's a pediatrician. They all unanimously say this is the biggest breakthrough ever. So what do athletes have to say? Now, we're not going to talk about treating, curing, preventing any disease. You can go research glutathione on PubMed and type in anything known to man. What I'm going to talk about today is getting results. This is a friend of mine from up the road. And she said, when I told her about this breakthrough, Michael, I've had every lotion, potion, pill and powder known to man given to me, and I'm always disappointed. Now, this lady, Natalie Jenkinson, is a judo Olympian, but she's also a 4-time Australian women's boxing champion. So she said this, the very first thing I noticed was day one, how well I slept. And she said, if that was it, would have been great. But by day 13, she was so clear in training that she better than she had in years. In fact, she said it gave her back her endurance and recovery she had in her elite fighting years, which is a big testimonial. Now, every now and then someone logs on and goes, well, that's great, but you don't understand, Michael. I eat green veggies every day. I don't put anything bad in my body. And, back when I was young, that meant a lot. These days, it's still important to do, but it doesn't mean the same because the nutrients are depleted. So let me share with you a vegan triathlete. He only puts green things into his body. And he says, I immediately noticed when Swish was in my body, literally from day one, I noticed amazing focus and brain clarity. And after the first 4 days, I had a tremendous increase in my energy, which meant I found a disinterest in coffee. And then after 1 week, my performance, my running speed, my muscle strength all became noticeably better. And lastly, my recovery was speedy as well. So, and look at this guy, he's all muscle. So we've also had a great example I can share with you that Bill Gillespie, back when we were doing precursors, when they were the big rage, he busted all the world records at 50 years of age, supplementing with glutathione precursors. So we thought, I wonder what would happen now. So at 62 years of age, we gave him Swish, and he went out, and this is unheard of, he went out and smashed the records of 50-year-olds at 62, in fact, set a brand new world record in powerlifting at 62, unheard of. So these products are amazing. Let's now segue to skin. What can glutathione do for your skin? Well, this is skincare completely reimagined. We infuse top-grade critical ingredients, including glutathione, but also other ingredients. We were contacted by Dr. Marina Perito, who's a world-renowned dermatologist in New York, and she said, if you could put other ingredients like hyaluronic acid, collagen, etc., you would have the world's greatest skincare using your shrunk-down philosophy. So we did exactly that. So we use hyaluronic acid that holds 10 times its own weight in moisture and attracts, 1,000 times, and attracts moisture into the skin in a humid climate. Collagen's like the springs in your mattress that keeps the skin taut. And before and after photographs with this product spraying on the skin is spectacular. Now, before I do that, let me just show you something. I know, ladies out there, if you've got these very stringent processes you go through, 5 steps, 6 steps, 10 steps. This is our steps. Done. That's it, right? That's how hard it is. So it's a really difficult thing to do. Most guys can even cope with it. But these are the before and afters. Check this out. This is actually Elaine. Now, Elaine is a friend of one of my friends who is a skincare educator in Australia who trains beauticians. And even my friend who is the educator was blown away with the results of this product. This is 30 days in. Now, first thing, we'll just point out the obvious. Yes, she's had her eyebrows done. She's had her lips done. We acknowledge that. You're probably thinking she's lost weight. Elaine swears in that 30-day period she didn't, but the collagen is tightening up into here. I've got a friend who says he's got a genetic turkey neck, and that pulled his turkey neck up. But the big thing to look at is a reduction in redness, and also the appearance of fine lines and pore size. This is a esthetician / beautician in Latin America, and the difference in her pore size and the brightness of the skin is phenomenal. And of course, this is one of my friends. She's probably on right now, out of Indiana. This is Sherry Werner, one of the first crash test dummy, I say, to test the product. And look, when I saw this photo, if you're thinking this, I thought that's got to be photoshopped. And I can tell you I've met Sherry, and it's definitely not. She looks like her own younger sister. So what I did, interesting, I was spraying myself. And within 3 days, I thought, wow, my skin is like super soft. But here's the thing. After 3 weeks, people said, have you had Botox? And I swear I've never had, never will. But what happened is the wrinkles, just the appearance of them just seemed to flatten out, which is just amazing. So I'm not going to suggest you're going to become Benjamin Button, but if you keep spraying yourself, of course, your skin gets back to perfect health, which is awesome. So let's talk about implementation. But before we do, actually, I've got someone online right now who I would love to introduce you to. Now, this friend of mine, Erin, we've known each other for quite some time. She's been through the whole journey of supplementing with glutathione precursors, even into liposomal glutathione, and now to Neumi. So, Erin Ganfield, I would love you to share your experience.
Thank you, Mike. Well, it's a pleasure to do that. It's been a long time, and I was a very skeptical person, but I went ahead with it, and I did really enjoy the old technology of glutathione supplementation. It was a very good product. I then did deviate into the liposomal, and I found that it did nothing. I don't know, but I actually deteriorated, and even though I was 12 years older when I tried that, I actually started feeling like I was. And so that was when we finally got our hands onto the Swish, and Neumi Swish has made such a difference. I managed to get, some of the differences were that I just thought that I was a little bit flat, and I got my vitality back. My hands were very, very stiff and sore, but they were good again. And life in general is just perked up. I can keep on keeping on. It's not in a hyped way at all. So I'm very, very happy with the product. And one of the things that is especially, though, is I got really good, my freshness in the mouth has, I got such good gums now, the health of my gums, that even my dentist commented on it. And he said, wait, give me 6 months and I'll have a look at that. So, and it's so easy to take. You don't get the reflux from taking oral supplementation with the capsules. So I'm very happy with all of that. But man, that skincare, I love it. And I do only do it twice a day normally, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And I can tell the difference in my skin. It's a lot tighter. Speaking of the turkey neck, pretty good. But my skin's soft. You know, it's very soft. I don't have I've never had big pores, so that wasn't a problem. But it's just a beautiful, fresh feeling, and twice a day, and I hardly have to use anything other on my skin. So I am absolutely wrapped in that. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And you know what just reminded me, I haven't ever spoken about this much, but the last time I went to the dentist, this is horrifying a dentist to hear this, but it was actually about 13 years ago. So I'm not suggesting everyone should do that, but I don't have any problems with my teeth. I had the odd time where I had a bit of a tooth funny feeling, and I've just swished and I'm feeling fantastic. Haven't had a need to go, so that's great. So thank you for sharing, Erin. So now what we're going to talk about is implementation. We could have taken this product to the world in any way we dreamt of, right? But we chose to use the home-based business industry. Why is that? Well, it might be interesting to note that most people don't trust advertising, but most people trust word of mouth, a referral from a friend. So the home-based business industry, by the way, whether you love it or hate it, is actually older than all of us online combined. I mean, I'm 54 soon. The industry is over 100 years old. It's got many names. It's called the multi-level marketing industry, the network marketing industry, the direct selling industry, the home-based business industry. Statistics in 2019 pre-COVID was 118 billion in turnover and 119 million people involved. But I can tell you it's skyrocketed since then because of COVID. More people looking for opportunity. In fact, here in the Sunshine Coast, which is a touristy location, there are 4 lease signs everywhere. Restaurants shutting down, businesses shutting down, people worried about their jobs, mandates, whatever. And during this period, we've been going now for 10 months, a little bit more than 9 months. So it feels like we just birthed the baby. And there are people who are earning, multiple 6-figure annual incomes. And we just got started 9 to 10 months ago. So huge growth, actually industry growth that a lot of companies are envying right now with what we've got going on. So this is largely due to the fact that not just Steve with his product and amazing field leadership, it's about the corporate team. So we attracted this gentleman, Aaron Rennett. Aaron has been involved in the industry for over 13 years. He's taken a company into over 40 plus countries before. He's got all the experience to be keeping the wheels on while we're trying to run them off. And I can tell you this is the first time in my career in this industry where I've dealt with someone at corporate who actually listens and takes on board advice from the field. So we are a field-driven company, which is very unique and different. So let's talk about unparalleled value adds, unequaled compensation, revolutionary tools, and a field-driven philosophy. So the first one is our VIP membership. So the Neumi Academy, when you join as a VIP, you have the option of receiving all of these things for free. One of them is Steve Scott's Master Strategies of Super Achievers. It sells for about $400 normally. You get that for free. In addition to that, some countries doing the hokey pokey. We're locked down. We're not locked down. We're locked down again. They can't go to the gym. Well, we have a personal development program and an in-house personal trainer that does a lot of stuff for us as well, Amber. You get access to this program as a VIP for free. Plus, if you want going to start traveling, and I know I'm starting to travel in October to a beautiful place we're going to announce tomorrow for free, but there is a program called the Neumi Voyager. This is a program where you can get 75% off your travel. Some companies in home-based business industry are selling the similar platforms for $1,000 per year. Did you hear that right? We're giving it away. Okay, so no one can compete with this offering. So let's talk about the compensation plan. So firstly, there is 2 memberships, bottom corner there, $35 if you just want to build the business, $99 if you want all those benefits, including the platforms we just talked about. For those that do understand comp plans, it's really simple. $1 internationally equals 1 point. There is 6 ways you can profit. There is weekly and monthly commissions, almost like we're running 2 comp plans simultaneously. And there is what we call them buckets. The front bucket, which is the weekly fast money makers, and then the back bucket, which is the team leverage residual income. So there are 3 commissions on either side. Let me just talk about what they are. Firstly, if you are logged on right now from the USA, which a number of people are, you can buy this product at $50 for a bottle and then sell it for $65 to a non-member. Awesome. In the rest of the world, which is 22 countries open right now, we're just about to open up, or we'd have to have just open up Mexico, for example. We're right across the world. There's a drop-down box shows you all the countries. We have an NFR process, which means we're shipping from the US into that country at the moment. And that means you can't retail, but you can have as many preferred customers and as many members joining with welcome packs as you like. Now, you're going to earn the following commissions on this program. Here's you. If you introduce somebody who chooses to join with just 2 products as a customer, let's say that was Phoebe, you would earn $25. Okay. And if Phoebe wanted to purchase that again next month and the month after and the month after, guess what? You would earn $25 every single time. And a lot of people repurchase because they love the product. Let's say you introduce somebody who wanted to build the business and they purchased a pack of products. You can purchase right up to $1,000 pack. If they purchase a $1,000 pack to get some stock in their hands, you get $250. But here's where the scope is. Let's say that person knows people you don't know. You can earn up to 7 levels deep with an extra 3% on every single generation. You start off with 3 generations, but you can earn up to 7, which is phenomenal. So I want to point out the weekly commissions are based on customer volume. So any customer that purchases always paid out every single week, plus any purchase from a member in their enrollment period, which is their first 30 days in business. Okay. After that, this program, which is very lucrative, pays out amazing, then tips into the back program, and then ongoing, your monthly commissions have 3 other commissions for that as well. So all the member purchases are then paid from the second month into the monthly program. Now, the first one's called the Power of 3. Now, don't underestimate this. This is unheard of before. Here's how it works. Here's you. If you have 3 people that join you, just 3 teams, and they purchase 100 points, which is just their own personal consumption without any customers, you will receive $50 at step 1. Okay. Now, this program is paid out on the monthly commissions on the second month, but I want to point something out. At the time of this recording right now, we're in the middle of a promotion that says, and if you're logged on from the Philippines right now, we will also pay at the moment for the next 6 weeks, we will pay your monthly commission for the Power of 3 on the first month as well. So this month and next month, you can get that. So that means, think about it. If you're from the Philippines, you could introduce 3 people, you get $25, $25, $25, that's $75. Plus, you'll get the $50. You have $125 already with no other commissions included, which means you've got enough to pay for next month's order. Boom. Mark Rosario is coming on in a minute to talk about the impact of this. So then if you help somebody to do the same, which you could do in the same month, same week, you could earn $250 at milestone 2. If you duplicate that one more step, you can earn $1,500. So $1,500. That's not to be sneezed at. What would you do right now if you had an extra $1,500 a month coming to your house? Huge. This is one bonus, just one, forgetting all the rest. Now, I might add, we're not a 3-team structure. You can start with 3 for someone who's not real confident. If you're confident, you can go 6 teams wide or more. 6 teams will actually, you could do twice that. You could earn $3,000 a month with this one bonus. Okay. So reminder, all of these bonuses in the monthly bonuses are based on future member orders past their enrollment period, except for the promotion period at the moment. So we like to refer to this as a waterline. Why is that? Customers will purchase for their health, members purchase for their health, but they also purchase for their financial freedom. So tend to be stickier. So that's why we like to say the monthly program is something you rely on. So the next bonus is called the uni level. It starts at 3 levels deep, as you can see on the member on the top left-hand corner, and goes all the way through to 7 levels deep. But we include dynamic compression. What does that mean? Well, that means, let's say I introduce person A, who introduces person B, who introduces person C, and A and B don't purchase or drop out. Person C becomes A. You don't lose anything. A lot of companies out there do not compress their commissions, so they keep the 2 in between so that you don't get the maximum payout. So moving right along, then we get to the final bonus, which is called the Leadership Bonus Pool, which is a global bonus pool from 22 countries every month. 6% of global sales goes into a pool, and according to your rank, you'll get 1 share at 2-star, right up to 6 shares of this pool at Crown. Now, let me point something out. You might be watching from the Philippines or Africa or Australia, and you might not know anyone in America or Canada, but if that business goes berserk, once you qualify for these, even if you don't have a business in those countries, you're going to earn a percentage of global sales. Huge. Don't underestimate that one. So before we go into revolutionary tools, in fact, I've heard from Erin, who's in Perth. What I'd love to do now is pass to a good friend of mine, Mark Rosario. Now, Mark was integral in working with me and Steve Scott in kicking off the Philippines. He has 2 gigantic teams. In fact, he's got 2 people in his business that I think are some of the biggest home-based business network marketers that Philippines has ever seen in the history of the Philippines in the industry. And I want him to share with you why Neumi for him.
Oh, thank you, Michael, and good evening and good morning from wherever you're at right now. Well, I've been with the Neumi since July, so it's 10 months now. And of course, everybody who's really into seriously building the business, I took the $1,000 package. It took me a little bit of a few weeks to really recover my ROI there. By virtue of enrolling my first 3 or 4 first people there, and of course, as Michael had mentioned earlier, by enrolling people, I received the welcome bonus pack or the welcome bonuses along with it. Now, but I really want to drive your attention to the power of 3, which is actually a roadmap to sustainable growth, well, financial growth. And I would say that sustainability or sustainable growth is the key word here. Now, we have a very incredible product, and as mentioned earlier, yes, some people would buy to improve their health, and some people would even people would also buy for their financial health. Now, it is really great how we attract people here. In fact, I have attracted at least 3 major players in the network marketing industry back here in the Philippines, and all of them are retired. But as they saw, all the ingredients for a perfect storm, shall we say, is present in this company, which brought them out of retirement. And so what are those 3 ingredients of a perfect storm? Well, we have the company, big time integrity. I've never seen a company oozing with integrity. Of course, the DNA of Steve Scott is the DNA of our company. As mentioned, always, we have products that are really very effective and incredible, and the pay plan is the most generous pay plan that I've ever seen. And the system, the people who will bring you into this deal will talk to you about the very simple system. So that's what I would like to share with you tonight, and I really look forward to teaming up with you all. So good evening, and thank you very much. Back to you, Michael.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I just love partnering with people like Mark and with Aaron and taking the business right around the world. It's such a buzz to be able to do that. So let's get into the close of the presentation now. So we have revolutionary tools. So one of the things that was just mentioned there is that we have a system. So the perfect storm is some of the biggest leaders in the industry have joined us, 7-figure earners, and they've said, you know what I love? I don't have to create anything. You guys have already created it for us. And one of those is this amazing app. So Steve Scott said these words: let's give our members everything they need to succeed. We don't charge for it. We don't charge for tools. Some companies do. Why would we? It'd be a way of making money, but no, we're here to support the members. We have an app you can use, which you can send out everything, including this presentation I've recorded another time, that you can send out. It'll tell you when someone opens it, when they watch it, when they finish it. And then how did this happen? Because we're a field-driven company. Before the company opened, they had founding advisory board members giving advice with experience in the industry on what people want, and they structured the company around that. When we started, we brought on what we call the field advisory board. Phoebe is one of those representatives, and those people have their finger on the pulse, and they know exactly what is happening in the field. They feed it back to corporate, and we make adjustments accordingly. Getting started, let's wrap up with this. Welcome packs. What are your options? Well, you can dip your toe in the water. If you're in Africa, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, etc., some of those countries, you can buy packs 1 or 2. So pack 1 is you could just get 2 products at $100, and we'll give you a basic membership for free, saving you the $35. If you go for pack 2, $300, we'll give you the basic membership, and you'll have your 6 products, but we'll give you another product for free to null out what you actually paid for shipping. So these are the 2 packs available in most of those countries. And as Mark said, they've built rocketing businesses just on these 2 packs. For the rest of the world, we also have pack 3. So pack 3 is $500, and you can actually get 10 bottles of product shown there, but we give you another one for free to null out shipping, and we'll give you the VIP membership with all those other bells and whistles for free. And finally, the most popular pack in most countries that can get it is this one. $1,000 US. Mark got that before when we first started the Philippines. And that means you'll get all the product shown there, but we'll give you an extra $250 worth of product for free and a VIP membership. So it's a really economical model. Plus, you'll have product in your hand to get into people's hands. So as we wrap up, I want to say thank you for attending tonight. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is. Do me a favor. I like to be clear with friends and family and people are checking it out. Whoever invited you on and thought enough of you to invite you on right now, send them a text message thanking them and then just say this: I'm either an A, B, or a C. An A is, I want to get started. That'll be real clear so they know what to do next. Or B, I just want more information. That's perfect. Or C, you know what, I want to try some products first. And there's totally valid reasons to that as well, if that's what you want to do. I always wrap up and say this: our statement is a new you starts with Neumi. Let me say, if you're supplementing with glutathione of any other company right now, you're using inferior technology and you're probably paying way too much. And if you haven't supplemented glutathione before, you're in for a treat. Get hold of some of this amazing product. And I look forward to seeing everyone on the next presentation. In fact, tomorrow morning in the Philippines, 8 a.m., log back in on the same web and you will meet Steve Scott, the founder, Aaron Rennett, the president. That'll be 10 o'clock my time. Don't know where the rest of the world where you are, but check it out with the person who invited you. Why not come back, meet the founder and meet our president as well. So good night from Australia. All the best.